mother.
Did you beat this child when you were angry?
I probably beat them all on occasions.
Allow her own children
Did you get upset and burn their Christmas presents?
Yes, I did.
to be alone with their grandfather.
She knew he was molesting us. She said she loved her dad so much she was willing to give him whatever he wanted.
He was so weak. I didn't think he had the strength. I could be wrong. He was good at what he did.
Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
I'll try to be an emotional compass and point you in the right direction.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. It was just a few months ago that we aired a show about a mother who left her daughter in the care of a man that she once had accused of molestation. She had accused him of it, said she believed it, but yet left her child in his care. Take a quick look. She reports to you that her father is molesting her, and you continue to deliver her into his hands for 4 months.
I didn't want to believe he would do such a thing to his daughter.
You are the first mother in 45 years that has ever said, my daughter is being molested by a man and I'm going to deliver her into his hands for 4 more months, knowing what he is doing to her. My first guest today, Angel, says she watched this show from her couch at home. And when she heard me tell the guests those words, she thought, well, you never met my mother. By the way, the father in that show, Dan, took a polygraph test to show that he did not molest his daughter. The results were non-deceptive. He passed that polygraph. But as for Angel, she still claims her mother, Catherine, is evil. Why? She says Catherine left her in the care of a man who allegedly molested Catherine during her own childhood. So who is this man? Angel's grandfather.
Because of my mother, I have scars from the past that I am still trying to overcome. I spent my childhood in fear. When I was around the age of 4, my mother allowed our grandfather to molest me. At the time, my grandfather was dying of cancer. He was bedridden, and my mother allowed him to move in with us. Whenever my mother would leave the house, our grandfather would make us drop our panties and then touch us inappropriately. I believe my mother put us in harm's way, knowing that my grandfather was going to do those things to us because he molested her as well. When I was 18, I confronted my mom about my grandfather molesting me, and she told me that she loved our grandfather so much she was willing to give him whatever he wanted. My mother is evil for not preventing it. She never stepped in to protect us. Because most of my siblings want me to just let this all go, I've had to block them all from my phone, and I had to walk away. Now I only talk to one sibling, which is Kelly. I have a very hard time being around my mom because of the past. My mother has never apologized to me. I believe my mom does hate me.
Okay, Angel, I am very sorry that this is the topic we're talking about. I'm sorry that you've had to deal with this and are having to deal with it. What you're saying here is that your mother was molested by her father, your grandfather. Mm-hmm. So you're saying, so therefore she knew what his tendencies were, what his perversion was.
Yes.
Okay. You said you had 6 sisters and 1 brother.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, 5 sisters. I'm the 6th.
Okay, so there were 6 girls,
6
1
girls,
boy.
1 boy.
All right. So you said that she knowingly offered you up to this man.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That she would have you lined up.
Our grandfather had us lined up. She would just leave the house knowing what he was going to do, and he would have us line up.
And she knew this.
She knew he was going to molest us.
And when you say lined up, what do you mean?
Well, he was bedridden, so we either had to line up alongside the bed or alongside the couch.
And how old are we talking about here?
I can only remember between the ages of 2 and 7. I don't know. I know. That's all I can remember. I don't know how long it went on for. I just remember lining up, and I don't remember the exact age.
He would put his hands on you inappropriately,
Oh, yeah.
pull your panties down, touch you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And she knew this.
Well, she knew he was molesting us.
And how do you know she knew?
Yeah, well, the same thing happened with her. And then again, when I was 18, I confronted her on it.
What did you say to her at 18? What were the words you said to her?
First, I asked her if it really happened, because I blocked it out for so many years, and she said, yes, it did happen. And I asked her why, and she said because she loved her dad so much, she was willing to give him whatever he wanted.
So she didn't deny it.
No.
She said, yes, I did that. I was willing to let him do this to my children.
Yeah. I know a lot of people find that hard to believe.
And what did you say in response to that?
I was just relieved that she answered honestly.
This is not the only resentment, baggage, issues that you harbor with your mother. I mean,
Correct.
that's enough, but
That's the easy one.
there are others.
Uh-huh.
I actually made a list of the major things that you talked about. Number one was that she allowed your grandfather to molest you over a 5-year period between 2 and 7.
Yeah, I don't know how long the period was for,
But
but,
it was
yes,
in that
in that time
somewhere
frame.
between 2 and 7 years of age. That there were regular beatings.
Oh, yes.
That she left you and your siblings alone for 2 weeks with no adult supervision.
Correct.
She burned
Oh, our Christmas presents.
your Christmas
yes.
presents. Well, tell me about this.
I guess we weren't grateful enough or something, and she snapped and took all of our gifts and out to the garbage dump and burned them all.
You say a horse had gotten out and
It was missing all winter. We couldn't find him. Come springtime, my mother was walking with her best friend, and I was with them, and come across our dead pony stuck between 2 trees. And she didn't want it there, so she told me to go down there and rip it apart and let it float down the river.
it was wedged between 2 trees. And you were how old?
13.
And she told you to go down and rip the horse apart
Yes.
just with your hands.
So it can float downstream. Yes.
You say there were no new clothes. She would buy the other children clothes, but not you.
There was a weekend where she went to Philadelphia to be with her best friend, and she took my other sibling with her, and she had me stay home and watch everyone else. It's fine, I did it anyway. So when she comes back home after being gone for 3 days, she calls me from downstairs, and she had these 3 30-gallon bags full of brand new clothes. And I'm thinking, oh, great, she got me some clothes. And she made me sit there while she handed out every article, piece of clothing to all my siblings. And then when she got done, she looked at me and said, none for you.
Why?
I don't know. That's why I'm here.
Well, you have no theory as to why she would single you out.
I don't know that. Honestly, I was very confrontational. I wouldn't let her beat the kids. Oh, and plus, my dad did name me after his girlfriend.
Angel's mother, Catherine, has been listening backstage. Now, while she admits her father molested her during her childhood, she never thought that he had molested her own children. We're going to talk to her and see what she has to say about that when we come back.
Angel doesn't have a clue what a horrible childhood consists of. I didn't see my father touch Angel. He was hooked up to an IV. I didn't think the man had the strength to do these things anymore.
And later, did you
all
beat
got
this
back.
child when you were angry?
I probably beat them all.
Did you get upset and burn their Christmas presents?
Yes, I did.
My mother is abusive, damaged, and hateful. She beat me and my siblings regularly. She would kick, punch, pull our hair. One time in the bathtub, my mother would hold my head under the water until I couldn't take it any longer. After the bath, she sent us to school. My mother was always yelling at me or beating me.
Well, Angel says her mother, Catherine, is abusive, hateful, and allowed her to be molested between the ages of 2 and 7 by Catherine's father. But Catherine says she allowed her dying father to live with them for only a few days, not years, as Angel alleges. Catherine also claims her daughter Angel exaggerates about alleged abuse experienced during her childhood.
Angel thinks she had such a horrible childhood. Angel doesn't even have a clue what a horrible childhood consists of. Angel and I were not close when she was growing up. Angel was a bad kid. I think I did pretty good with what I had to work with. Angel had a wonderful childhood as far as I'm concerned compared to what I've known. My father molested me, broke my heart. When Angel was 3 years old, my father was bedridden and dying of cancer. I never thought there would be a problem. So I brought him home. One time I went to borrow sugar next door. When I returned, I saw my father pull his hand out from underneath one of my child's underwear. I didn't see my father touch Angel. He was hooked up to an IV. I didn't think the man had the strength to do those things anymore.
I don't know why she would even let him around us.
I'm not even sure if Angel was molested by my father because she was only 4 years old. For a long time now, Angel's tried to make me her whipping post. Angel exaggerates her childhood to the point where it's extreme. Angel seems to think that I should be held accountable for the bad decisions that she's made in her life. Angel and I have been going at it for years. I'm tired of this battle. She needs to stop.
Well, Angel says she hasn't seen or spoken to her mother in 4 years until right now. So if you would please, Catherine, come on out. Catherine, Dr. Phil, we should step for you right here. You've not seen your daughter in 4 years.
Correct.
And you've not so much as looked at her until just now.
Right.
I have to say that is really an odd dynamic.
Oh, yeah. I had no idea that this was how she thought and felt, the extremes of it. Because there's a lot of exaggeration.
Well, you know, one of my ways of trying to resolve disputes is to start by seeing what it is we can agree on.
Okay. Okay.
What's not exaggerated, what's not denied, what's not
Exactly.
in dispute. First off, she says that you allowed your father, her grandfather, to molest her at some point. She's not saying it went on for 5 years. She's saying sometime between the ages of 2 and 7 that you
She was
allowed
6.
her to be molested by...
No, it's not true. I didn't allow that. I never, as God's my witness, I didn't think he would do that.
Did he?
Yeah, I caught him.
Pardon me?
I caught him.
You caught him. So you don't dispute that
Oh, no,
molestation
I
by
know
your
that
father,
on one
her
occasion.
grandfather. You saw it once.
I saw it once.
Do you believe that that's the only time it ever happened? That you caught him the one time it happened?
I didn't leave them alone with him. So that one time, I only ran next door.
So you actually believe that you caught him 100% of the time that he molested
No, I
your
could
children.
be wrong. I could be wrong. He was good at what he did.
You were victimized by this man, right?
Yes.
And I'm very sorry for that. I'm very sorry that you were victimized by him. I'm not glossing over that at all.
Right.
I hate that for you. I hate that for you. I have 2 victims here, and it's as tragic for you as it is for her. But I mean, let's be honest here. You didn't think he was capable of doing it, so therefore you weren't vigilant because you didn't think he was capable.
Yeah. So yeah, I was wrong with that. He was so weak. He had a colostomy bag. He had a urine bag. He was all wired up. He didn't think he had the strength.
Yeah. I'm not trying to assign blame. I'm just trying to analyze the situation. Based on the fact that you didn't believe
Right.
he was capable of it, you will
It
agree
happened
that
to my babies. Yeah, you're right.
you weren't vigilant.
Yep.
So we can agree that on at least one occasion that you know that he molested at least some of your children.
Yes. Yes.
And very well may have been Angel. You say you question that. It doesn't stand to reason that he would have skipped her.
Right. I just assumed. Maybe I didn't want to believe it. I don't know.
Did you force her to tear a dead horse apart with her hands?
Yeah, I really knew the horse was going to come apart. When she went to pull the pony's leg, it came off.
And later, do you seriously know who her father is?
I'm 99.9% sure.
Here's the thing. I can't change what happened.
Neither can I.
But what I can do is try to heal where we are now. What can we agree on? Regular beatings.
No. I was more of a screamer, and I'll be honest, I was a coffee mug thrower. I wasn't like Angel says.
There's lots of times we'd have to hide the kids in the pantry, and then one of us would have to step out. And usually it was me because everyone else was too chicken.
That's true.
And then
Angel was always the
be a
brave
beating.
one. No, I didn't give her a beating all the time.
Did you take it out
like
on her?
that.
Look, you can't change what you don't acknowledge. And there is nothing worse to someone that has been victimized in this way than for those that were involved to invalidate them by saying, I will not even acknowledge what happened to you. That's a whole new transgression. That's a whole new abuse
Yes, I
to do
acknowledge
that.
that, Dr.
If you're saying I did not hit you, I did not kick you, I did not slap you, I did not pull your hair.
Oh, no,
that just never
I didn't-
happened. Then that's
Okay.
just like abusing her all again today.
Okay.
I don't want you to say you did it if you didn't, but if you did, what the hell? This is a time to just get it all out on the table.
I think my verbal abuse was worse than my physical abuse. I had
I'm not asking you to grade them. I'm just asking you to inventory.
Okay.
And Mom, I'm not here to nail you to the wall or
I
cross. I just
understand
want
that.
healing. For all of us. I just want it all out, and
So do I, baby.
and I just want to be done.
Did
We
you
all
beat
got
this
cracked.
child when you were angry?
I probably beat them all on occasions.
Okay.
With the way I was raised, we were beat. Society raised me. I was beat. That's all I knew.
All right, well,
I taught what I knew.
Well,
I
thank
did
you
what
for
I
that
knew.
candor. I thank you for that candor. So there were times in anger and tantrum where you snapped and you did beat
Yeah,
the children,
I did, but-
including Angel. You said she's the one that stepped out,
Yeah.
so she caught the brunt of it, probably
Most
more
likely,
often
yeah.
than the others.
Yeah, probably.
So
yeah.
there were times you did beat her.
Probably, yeah.
Well, not you either did or
yes,
you didn't.
there were more times. Yeah.
I didn't say more or less. I just you either beat her or you didn't.
Yes.
Okay. Did you leave the siblings alone for 2 weeks without adult supervision?
No.
She was supposed to babysit us, and
I was gone for a week.
all right, it was a week then, but she didn't babysit us. She left.
I wasn't aware of that, Angel, until I got home. I left them with a babysitter
Who bailed on you?
who bailed on me, yeah. And
But
I
they
did
were
not
left
know.
unsupervised.
Yes, they were.
Okay.
Not by me, by the babysitter.
Did you get upset and burn their Christmas presents?
Yes, I did. That was in the summertime. Yes, I did.
Did you force her to tear a dead horse apart with her hands?
Yeah, I really knew the horse was going to come apart. No, we went down, the horse was missing. It was a pony. It was a very old pony, Flicka. We were looking all over for the pony. We went down to the creek, and the pony was wedged between, they weren't trees, but they were large pieces of branch that had fallen down. And it was blocking, that's how I found out, it was blocking the flow of water.
That's right.
And the neighbors, the farmer down below wanted to know why the runoff wasn't coming. And we found Flicka in the creek, and I had asked a couple of the girls to try to de-wedge the pony, you know what I mean? Let's get and I didn't know, for God's sake, if I'd have known that, I would. When she went to pull the pony's leg, it came off. Okay? Who's
I
going
don't
to
remember you there. You were
think
there
that
with-
that's going to happen?
You weren't there.
I was there.
As it turned out, she did pull the horse apart.
She pulled the horse loose, and then it
pulled
went
piece
down.
by piece off.
The leg came off.
I really
The
did.
leg came off.
Okay.
No.
Because when we talked to you earlier, you said you had animal services come do that. But in fact, it was her.
No, animal services came when they used to have to come and. We lived on a farmette, doctor, and there was.
Well, I don't know, but that's
All
what
right,
you
go
told
ahead.
us when we asked you about it the first time.
I don't recall that.
Well, I do. Did you buy all the kids new clothes, but not her?
Yeah, I did that one summer.
Okay.
Angel was told they had all the girls had jobs, teenagers, okay, earning a little bit of a living. You got to learn to work. Angel didn't want to work and earn money. Angel she just didn't want to work. She was Angel. She was sort of like the movie star of the house. Excuse me for saying that, but that's just, this can be backed up by other
At
by
the age
siblings
of 12,
and all
I
that.
did
But
the dog grooming, and then I did all the babysitting.
This was disciplinary.
yes,
thing.
there was a
Okay.
reason for it. Yes, I
All
did.
right. Kelly, one of Catherine's other daughters, has been listening backstage. She claims that Catherine considers herself to be a great mother, even though she admits she failed her children. We'll talk to Kelly when we come back.
My mom has always been abusive, but I don't think that an apology from my mom is going to be enough for Angel. My mom disregards the bad things that she did to us as kids.
And later, who's Kelly's father?
It's not the guy she thinks it is. I can 100% tell you that.
Angel says her mother, Catherine, is evil for not only verbally and physically abusing her as a child, but also allowing Catherine's father to molest her. Now, she says that's how she feels about what happened, but yet she says, I do want to put that behind me. I do want to build a relationship here. Angel's younger sister, Kelly, says she isn't sure that Angel will get the accountability she's looking for from her mother because Catherine considers herself to be a great mom. Take a look at this.
From as far back as I can remember, my mom has always been abusive. If we didn't clean the house, she would beat us. If we were acting up in the car and my mom got angry, she would threaten to smash the car into a tree if we didn't stop. I know what my mother did was wrong. I know that she's sorry for a lot of it, and I've forgiven her for a lot of it. I don't hate her for it, but I don't think that an apology from my mom is going to be enough for Angel. My mom disregards the bad things that she did to us as kids, and I don't like it.
Kelly, thank you for joining us. When you were growing up in this household, it sounds to me like it was laced with dysfunction at every level. Is that true?
Yes, that's true.
And there were a lot of kids and a single mother, and that can make for chaos.
Yeah.
Was it chaotic?
It was very chaotic, yeah.
Was your mother abusive?
Yes,
Was she abusive to you?
yeah.
Were you molested during this period of time?
No.
Okay, so you escaped that. And do you feel that Angel is stuck in this history? Is this something you want to see her get past? Do you think she has legitimate complaints here? What's your feeling about
Yeah,
this?
I do think Angel's very stuck. I think that this is touching every area of her life, and there's a lot of healing that hasn't taken place. I think they both deserve that.
I'm very frustrated and angry because that's the one excuse you've always told people is I didn't work, I didn't do a lot of things, and I was a bad kid. I was actually one of the best ones you had. Nobody stepped in with those kids but me. I did a lot of the chores, and if the chores didn't need to be done, I was busy making sure the kids were safe. Where did I fail? And plus, then I did work at the department store. I did work, and you've always used that against me. Like, didn't matter what I did, it was never good enough.
Everyone's getting along fine
won't-
except you, babe.
No.
Do you remember-
They're pretending it didn't happen.
They're not pretending it didn't happen. They know what happened. I've talked to them about it.
Did you
Just like I
blame
said,
it all on
Everybody's
them,
getting
though?
along.
Did you
Sorry?
blame it
Not
on them?
getting along.
Okay,
You're
I get it.
blaming everything on me.
goes
as
No,
to
I'm
what-
not. I'm
everything that
worried
happened.
about you.
When you say, well, she was being punished, she didn't work, she didn't like to work. Angel
You
was
didn't work that summer that we're talking about. That summer
you
with
were
the clothes
going
I
through
bought.
a divorce and you were busy
was
partying all the time. Somebody had to be home with the kids.
You're talking about one summer,
That's
Angel.
the summer we're talking about. That's the summer you screwed me. That's the summer where you made me sit there and hit one. That's the summer I stepped up.
So
And then you screwed me.
I kept asking you, Angel, were you going to work and babies? You didn't want to.
I'm watching the kids. Somebody
You
had to be
Angel,
there.
I didn't work.
Mom, you're unfunctional. I'm not leaving my kid.
I'm going to be honest with you, Dr. Phil, just like in my tapes, I had no business having children from where I came from. But I had them, and I did the best I could do with what I had to work with.
Well,
And my
yeah.
goal was to make them strong and make them functional to be able to survive in that world. And I've done that pretty good with 6 out of 7.
Who's the seventh?
I have 7 children.
You said 6 out of 7 are okay, and the seventh one.
This nut.
The one right here, Dr. Phil.
She's the one that's having all these problems that I'm hearing.
But one of the things you said was interesting. You said, in a perfect world, I want Dr. Phil to fix my Angel. I know Daddy Warbucks has a lot of resources, and he's intelligent, so he will know what to do.
Well, I have been so impressed. I've never seen money spent the way you spend money. So, yeah, you're Daddy Warbucks. In my mind, where I came from.
You got a new nickname.
Not to be disrespectful.
Oh, no.
Did you take that as disrespectful?
No.
That's not how that was meant.
No.
I wish I had a Daddy Warbucks.
I'm very thick-skinned. I'm very thick-skinned. Who's Kelly's father?
I don't know.
She don't.
Well, we're going to talk about that because it's a big question Kelly has, and it's a big question that she has been tormented by her entire life. And she says it's a secret her mother, Catherine, refuses to reveal. We'll be right back.
My mom was married 3 times. In between her first and second marriage, she had a relationship with 2 different men. My mother named one of those men as my biological father. I didn't learn that I had a different father until I was 10. My mom told me that she took my biological father for paternity, and he paid the doctors to have the test say that we were negative for a match. I think my mom believes that that is the truth. I have trouble believing. I have a number of family members who continue to come to me over the years telling me it's not him, it was this other guy. You look like this other guy. I've had that conversation with my mom, and she gets upset. I just want to get to the bottom of it. I want to know who my father is. I want to know where I come from. I just want my mom to tell me the truth about who he is.
Well, 2 of Catherine's children are here today, each with different issues with their mother. Angel accuses Catherine of allowing her grandfather to molest her. And Kelly says Catherine refuses to reveal who her father really is. Now, I've got one question here before I talk about this paternity issue. Do you recall Angel coming to you when she was 18?
No, I don't recall that. I'm sorry, but no.
Do you recall saying that you loved him enough that...
No, I never said that. Your imagination has a way of running a little bit too far down the road, baby girl. I never said that.
What you told us is you said she might have, and I don't remember it. I'm not calling her a liar, but I can't remember her bringing it up. That's what you said.
Mm-hmm. I did love my father, but I didn't. You took that in an entirely wrong context. I didn't mean I loved him to give him permission to hurt my babies. I didn't mean that I loved him. I did. I idolized my father. He was my hero before I realized what was going on.
Did you call the police?
I called the VA hospital and told them to come get him out of my home immediately, and they did. He's already been to a court prior to that. There is no cure for that disease.
Well, Angel says that a family friend raped her. He was
Raped you?
No, molested me.
Well, let's
Sorry.
just call it whatever you want.
Uh-huh.
Big difference between
And
rape
you
and
said
molestation.
that she actually seduced him.
She didn't seduce him. Angel was a very flirtatious child.
You told us, and I quote, she wanted him. I think she was like
No, I didn't tell
16
you
when
that.
that happened.
I didn't tell you that.
Pardon me?
I didn't tell you that.
That is what you said.
And I'm not flirtatious. Sorry.
Do you seriously know without the shadow of a doubt who her father is?
Who, Kelly?
Yes.
I'm 99.9% sure. It's not the guy she thinks it is. I can 100% tell you that. I met this other guy after I was already 2 months pregnant for Kelly. And that's why, and I dated him. And
I
that's
don't
why
necessarily
everybody-
think it's one or the other. It's just, and it's not that I don't believe my mom. I believe that she believes what she's telling me is the truth, but it's just really difficult to believe that somebody has that kind of pull to
Pay off
Pay
the
off a
doctors. I find that very hard to believe.
So do I.
You would like to know.
I would.
Would you like some help in trying to track these candidates down and see if we can get some
Yes.
information for you?
I would like that a
Because
lot.
would be my pleasure to do that.
Thank you.
Okay. We'll see if we can get you some answers, not opinions. We'll see if we can get you some answers to that if they will do so. You don't want anything from, you just want answers.
No, just answers.
Yeah. So, where do you go from here? What do you want?
Everything's still getting blamed on me, and I'm tired of.
Right, I take it back, Angel.
You don't have to. It's just
I'm
everything's.
very sorry. I never meant to hurt you. I love you, believe it or not.
I love you too, but it just still seems like everything that's ever bad that's happened to me is somehow always been my fault. It's always been my fault.
You certainly don't want to continue feeling the way you are feeling, but yet this history can be very, very confining. But there are some things to do. I'm going to talk about that when we come back. Frankly, there's so much wrong here. We're talking about everything that you can possibly imagine in terms of the development of a child across time. And I'm saying that to you in your development as a child, when you were growing up, and the same thing with you as a development of child. And here's the thing about legacy. The legacies get passed from generation to generation. And that can be a good thing if you're talking about healthy aspects of a family. But if you're talking about toxic things like molestation and abuse and abandonment and neglect and bitterness and anger and all of those things, you don't want those things to be passed from generation to generation. But that's what's happened here. And you have to make a decision that you are going to stop this at this point. And let me just tell you, every relationship you lose is not a loss.
Oh, I know.
You cannot possibly be proud of many of the things that transpired in your role as a mother.
No, heck no.
You can't be proud of your temper. You can't be proud of the things that you made. You say, look, I never had a role model. Nobody ever taught me what to do. And I heard you say early on, she thinks she had it tough. She should have looked at my childhood. That doesn't even qualify as molestation. You ought to look at what happened to me. I mean, that's molestation that's junior varsity molestation compared to what I was. You're comparing it like, that doesn't make her pain, her hurt, impact on her any less. And I don't. That doesn't mean because yours was a long, long, long time ago that makes the distortion that it's created in your life any better. It doesn't. that's never been healed in you. And so it's created this terrible value system in you where things that you're treating as okay are not okay. Decisions you make are coming from a very distorted point of view. You have made some serious mistakes as a mother, and you've acknowledged some of those things today, and I think you have to agree. She has acknowledged some things today. That's good. But look, there comes a point where you have to give yourself what you wish you could get from somebody else.
Okay.
You know, there comes a point where you wish you had a mother and father that were healthy, vibrant, and had the capacity to give you the messages that you need to heal, the messages that you need to be validated, the messages that you need to be okay. And your mother never got those messages.
Right.
And it is really hard to give away what you don't have. You have to get to the point where you say, I choose to be better than I was yesterday. And a big part of that is to choose to forgive. And forgiving doesn't mean forgetting. And forgiving doesn't mean that what happened was okay. What it means is you say, I forgive, which is a choice, not a feeling. I forgive because I refuse to be locked in a bond of hatred, bitterness, resentment for the rest of my life with these people.
Okay.
And that's what will happen. That's what will happen. And you get locked in there, and when I say locked in there, give me your hands. I mean, you are locked in just that way. And it doesn't matter. You can try to get away, you can try to look aside, you can try to move away, but you're not. You're locked in right there.
Yeah, I know, I feel it.
And you get there and you can't move. You can't. And it doesn't matter if you have children, you have a husband, you have a career, you have a future. Every time you try to get by, they're right there until you go, you know what? No, thank you. That's what you have to decide to do. And when you have been through what you have been through, when you have been molested, there's very specialized care for helping to heal those wounds. I want to arrange for you to have that kind of help. I want to arrange for you to have that kind of help. Because you may think, oh, yeah, I'm past all. No, you're not. You got hurt early on and you've carried that burden for a long, long time. And it's distorted the way you've impacted those around you and the way you feel about who you are. And you are worthy of somebody caring for you instead of judging you. And I want to try to help you instead of judge you. Okay? And you're worth the trouble. I'm not here to throw you under the bus.
Okay.
And maybe at some point, in strength, you can begin with boundaries to build a relationship. And it may start with lunch and rules. We just talk about the here and now. And then maybe in time, we can choose a topic and we can talk about something from the past. And if that goes well, then maybe another time we can talk about something else. But not until you have the strength to know that you're okay from the inside out. Will you take that help?
Yes.
Will you take that help? All right, I want to thank all of my guests today. We will see you next time.